Ooh, ooh, ooh.
You guys sit tight. We're going to be right back with the all-new self-defense workshop later in the program on The Dean Show, teaching you how to defend yourselves when you're ever caught in a bad situation. So sit tight, and we're going to bring you this self-defense workshop later in the program, only on The Dean Show. Assalamu alaikum.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, Sheikh. Is this Yusuf Estes?
Yes, it is. Is this Eddie from the Dean Show?
This is Eddie from The Dean Show. I need you in the studio. You think you can make it, Sheikh?
Well, you betcha. When do you want to do it?
Right now.
Rightio, let's go.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, assalamu alaikum, peace be unto you. Welcome to The Dean Show, which is a way of life we try to put out there for everyone to see, helping you understand Islam and Muslims. And I just made a call to the Sheikh Yusuf Estes, so sit tight. We're going to be right back in the studio to cover a very important topic. We'll be right back on The Dean Show.
We'll be right back.
سلام 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 Peaceful, 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 peace. Peaceful, peaceful, peace.
Assalamu alaikum, peace be unto you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Thank you for taking my call.
Eddie, it's always a pleasure to be here, and if I can do anything at all to help the Dean Show, I'm ready.
All right, well, yes, you can. We got a very important topic.
Okay.
People are hearing this word Allah. Some are distorting the meaning.
The word Allah.
Allah. We
Okay.
want to know, does Allah mean God?
Well, for a lot of Muslims it is. That's what Muslims will tell you, Allah is God. But actually, if you have any study of the etymology of the word, you're going to find out that, in our opinion, that it's not exactly right. No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Why?
Why?
And this should be the logical question. Why? Because so many Muslims say it is. Now, a lot of non-Muslims would say, no, we never thought it was to start with. This is a totally foreign God. We're not talking about the concept of God here. We're just talking about the word itself, only the etymology of the word. You see, one of the things we'll do is, when we break this down, is to look for the root in the Semitic language, because Allah is an Arabic word, and it's one of the Semite, early Semite tribes. So this is where this is coming from. And you can compare it to the Hebrew, the word El for Elohim. Are you familiar with this?
Yes.
In the Old Testament, the Hebrew, this appears to be the same word in Arabic as Allahumma, Elohim, Allahumma, and that's calling upon Allah. The other word that you find in the New Testament is Eloi. They usually spell it E-L-O-I, but it's irrelevant because it's coming from Aramaic at that stage. And another similar meaning is Allahi, and Allahi, and Allah. Allah and Allah are very similar. In fact, some people wouldn't be able to tell the difference. But if you know about the Mel Gibson movie called The Passion of the Christ, they did it in the Aramaic language. They went to the one place on earth where people still speak Aramaic, which is in Syria, and they got their language and then they put it in this film. And you can actually hear in parts of the film that the character that's portraying Jesus, he's speaking the Aramaic language, and he is saying Allah, Allah, like this, Allah. And there are many phrases in there that Arabs, Muslim Arabs, went to see the program, and they came back. They said, we're shocked. You know, we could understand a lot of things that this character was saying. It was really an amazing show.
So now, explain to us further, because now you said Allah doesn't mean God.
Well, the reason is because in the English language you don't have the word for Allah, but you have a word for God. And again, that sounds confusing. In Arabic, there is a word, Ilah. Ilah exactly means a God.
Ilah.
Ilah. Well, when you consider what does God mean, God means something worshipped. Anything can be a God. A rock, a stick, a stone, a bone, anything that you can see or even not see. Something that you can formulate in your mind as being a deity, a worshiper, a human being.
Yeah.
People can set that up to be their deity that they worship. Got it?
You got it.
That becomes their God. So if you said, well, I'm talking about the one and only God, how do you make a differentiation in the English language? You can't. So what you do, you use a big G. Well, that's all well and good if you're looking at it on a piece of paper, but if I'm speaking to you, I'm talking about a god of the Hindus. He has many gods. I say the Hindu god so-and-so. Well, how do I differentiate that when I'm speaking from the God of Abraham and Moses and Jesus and Muhammad, peace be upon all of them? Well, I can't do it in English unless I would maybe, I'm talking about the big G, jump up and say, God, or something like this. So I can't. The other thing is that when you see it written, it's always got a big G. You say, well, that's a differentiation, at least in writing. But what if you start the sentence with the word God? Even if you meant the lowercase God at that stage, you're stuck. You have to use a big G because that's the way English is. Incidentally, a lot of people don't know this, but in Semitic languages such as Hebrew, Aramaic, and Arabic, all of them, they don't have capital letters. They don't have upper, lowercase. They just have their letters. That's it. Another thing is that in Arabic, this word, like the English word, can be made plural. Ilah, aliha. Gods. You can do the same thing by making this plural, putting an S on it. But when you say Allah, Allah cannot be made plural. Allah is only one. There's no way to make the plural form of it in Arabic language. Also, it cannot have gender. When you have gender, you say he or she. But in this case, Allah is independent of that kind of thing because this word doesn't allow for gender. Now, some people say, yes, but in the Quran, for instance, it says, Allah, He is the one, but it's only out of respect. Many times in Quran, you find the form of this, Nahnu khalaqna, we created. And you'll say, well, there's the plural right there, but it isn't. There is no plural because this is the royal we out of respect and dignity for Almighty Allah. So it's actually the best word to describe the God of the Jews, the Christians, and the Muslims, because this is the God of Adam, Abraham, Moses, David, Suleiman, Jesus, and Muhammad. Peace and blessings be upon all of them.
So we said God now can be the money God, the materialistic God, the God that people make an idol to. But when you say Allah, that is the one true God, the God of Abraham.
Well, for monotheists it is, yeah.
For monotheists. Okay. And the word God, when did this actually come into existence, this word? Did
word God?
Jesus never spoke English, so he never said God.
Well, the word God is actually from an older word from the Celtic languages, from the like Germanic or so on. It comes from Rud, like this. It's sort of a in the back of the throat sound. And this came about in about 1066 AD, less than 1,000 years ago, at the time when the Normans invaded the Saxons. And at that time, when they came in and took over, they changed the language to what we call Anglish. They were Anglican, and English is where they came from. The proof now, I want to talk about the proof that Allah is the God of Adam and Abraham. Okay, that's not the question you asked me, but this is something is key here. We say Allah is not God because you don't have a proper word for God of Abraham and Adam. But if you simply go to the Old Testament in the Arabic language, because there are Arabs who are Jews, and there are Arabs who are Christians. So just go to Lebanon or to, that's one of the best countries you can go to, or Egypt, where they are actually publishing the Bible in Arabic language. And look on page 1 in Genesis, and when they make a differentiation between an Ilah, which is spelled Alif, Lam, Ha, okay, then you can tell this is where it says God in little g. But when they say God with a big G and they translate it into the Arabic, you can see it real clear. It's Alif, Lam, Lam, Ha, which is Allah. The same exact word which is used in Quran for the one Almighty God. Now, a lot of people don't have access to the Lebanese Bible, but I'll tell you what you do have access to. Any hotel, any motel on this planet probably has a Bible packed away in the drawer right by the bed. So you open it up, take it out, turn about 5-6 pages there and look, and you'll see samples of the translation of the Gideon Bible to these languages. The first one will be the Afrikaans language, and the second one will be the Arabiya. And when you look at the Arabic language, you'll see it says, "For God so loved the world." You know the frame is from John 3:16. And there it is. And in Arabic, it says, "For Allah so loved the world." Of course, I'm still leaving it in English, but Allah is there, and it's Alif, Lam, Lam, Ha. So this is clear proof. This is not even a subject of discussion for an intellectual person who knows Bible or who knows Scripture or who knows anything about languages. The only people who say things like this are very ignorant people.
So when Jesus, peace be upon him, would cry out to God, when he would call and pray to God, would he say Allah?
Well, he probably said Allah.
Allah.
It's a different pronunciation.
Allah.
Because it wouldn't have the doubling or the shedda on the lam.
So it's kind of like a different dialect, but the same word. It's the same word. Allah, Allah.
I won't even say it's that far apart or that close together, because I'm not sure. I have never really spoken to anybody in the Aramaic language.
Yeah.
So I'm not.
But when you
try to
listen,
give
just for someone that's listening now.
Oh, I would be.
It's far.
I'd catch it.
It's far away from Jehovah. Was God ever called Jehovah? Do we have evidence that God?
Yeah,
ever
that's
called?
impossible.
It's impossible.
And the reason I say it's impossible is because we're mispronouncing it from the get-go. My name is what? Yusuf. Right? My name is Yusuf. But when they translate it to English, they go Joseph, which becomes Joseph.
Yes.
But actually, it's an old Hebrew name. This is not Arabic.
Yeah.
Yusuf is not Arabic. Yusuf is actually the prophet Yusuf, who was the son of Yaqub or Jacob. We put a J sound for the Y's. That's English. His name was not Jacob. It was Yaqub. His son's name was not Joseph. It was Yusuf. So, and the one we call Job in the Bible, his name was Ayub. You see, you have to understand that there's no way they could have said these words because they didn't even exist. Why would anybody purposely mispronounce their own name anyway?
Someone who's a Jehovah's Witness might disagree with you, so no, that was God's name.
No, I don't think so. Not if they've studied anything. They know that the pronunciation in Hebrew was Yahweh.
Yehovah.
Yahweh.
Yahweh. Now, was God called Yahweh ever?
It's possible.
Uh-huh.
It's possible. It's very likely, actually, because Yahweh, what they're doing here, whoever did this left out the vowel markers.
Yeah.
Because you're missing the vowels.
Yeah.
Well, this is normal because there are no vowels. There are absolutely no vowels in the Arabic language. Okay, so how it is with Hebrew, I can't tell you everything about Hebrew language. That's not my forte. But I will tell you that if somebody took Hebrew and left out the vowels for the name, maybe they added vowels in their language much later after that. This I don't know. But if they left it out, it would make sense, because in Arabic, if you had Ya, Ha, Wa, you've got Ya, which is Ya, Ha, Wa, Ya, Ha, Ya, Hawa, Ya, Hawa. You hear how that sounds? That's calling.
Yeah.
Ya al-Hayy, if that's what it was, Ya al-Hayy, you know what this is? That's saying
one of God's attributes.
It's the living God.
The living God. That's what it means, the living God.
Al-Hayy means the living, the eternally living. Hayy is living, like Hayat Dunya, living in the material world. This is what it means. Life of the material world, Hayat Dunya. Al-Hayy is the eternal living. And if you said, Ya Hayy, you're saying, oh, the living one.
The living one.
Yeah.
So
and if you look at Jehovah in the concordance of the Bible, and you go to the Hebrew dictionary, which is attached to Strong's Concordance of the Bible, you get the big one like I got, you look in there and it says that this is calling upon the living God.
The living God.
Calling upon the living God. And in Arabic that'd be Ya al-Hayy, Ya al-Hayy, or Ya Hayy, Ya Hayy, Ya Hayy, Ya Hawa, Ya Hawa. It could very easily be. I'm not saying it was, but it easily could be.
Okay, let's simplify it real quick because we're running out of time. For somebody who's heard Elohim, someone who's heard Allah, someone's heard Jesus being called God.
Hold on 1 second, Eddie.
Yes.
Jesus wasn't Jesus.
Isa.
Isa.
But the
Christians
Christians...
just go Isa.
Now, someone who's never studied any Aramaic language...
Could be Yeshua too, by the way.
Yeah, but he never was called even Jesus.
How? It's an English word.
So let's break it down. What is God's proper name then? What was he, if you could make all these connections from the Hebrew, the Aramaic, now the Arabic, and what we have modern day English now today? What for somebody, how should he call upon God?
For a Jew who speaks Arabic, for a Christian who speaks Arabic, and for a Muslim who's, all Muslims, it doesn't matter.
An American, just an American.
Any Muslim anywhere, and any Arab anywhere will say Allah is the word.
Doesn't matter if he's Jew, Christian, or...
If they know the Arabic. Now, otherwise, they may have a slightly different pronunciation. But for sure, the word God never even existed 1,000 years ago. It's impossible.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Self-Defense Workshop on the Dean Show. Remember, these moves are only for self-defense, to be able to defend yourself or your family if ever put in a life-threatening situation. So let's get to the move now. If ever confronted in a life-threatening situation, I want to try to prepare myself and minimize any threat that can come to me, be it by an elbow, be it by a sucker punch, a knee. So how do I do that? I want to keep some distance. A lot of guys make a mistake where they run up on somebody chest to chest, okay? And from here, it's a very bad situation for me if the guy decides to do a sucker punch. Punch, elbow, knee. So I want to create some distance between me and my opponent. He can talk to me from over here. It doesn't need to be in my face. Now, with that said, I'm going to take one step back to guard my private parts here, my sternum here, bring my hands up to about shoulder level. Notice, I'm not clenching my fists and communicating to him that I want to fight. 65% of communication is done physically. So I don't want to communicate to him that I want to fight. There's still some room that we can try to diffuse this, and that's the best way to go. Calm him down. If that doesn't work, we go to the next situation, the self-defense. From here, the talking obviously is not working. He's going to decide to throw what's called a haymaker punch. This is where you wind up, put all your weight on that side, and release, trying to give that one punch knockout. It's a very damaging blow if connected with. So from here, I bring my hands up. He's going to try to do the haymaker punch. I'm prepared. From here, I block by the bicep. Now he's going to punch with the other side. I block at the same time, the other side. From here, I'm going to bring my head down so he cannot headbutt me. And keeping one hand on the bicep, the other hand is going to hug the hip and my body is going to follow. Now I'm in the clinch. From here, I have his arm trapped so he cannot punch me. I'm controlling his hips so he can't turn into me and near me. My head is nice and tight in his chest. So from here now, I'm going to go for the takedown, what's called a hip throw. My first foot is going to line up with his, right in front. Then the other back leg is going to step forward, line it up with his other foot. I'm going to clear his hip now. All I need to do, the power is going to come from the bottom up, straighten my legs, and I take him down. Now, I went from being on the defense to the offense. From here, I will continue to show you in the upcoming weeks and months how to control a person from this situation. But until then, you've gotten out of a bad situation, you can run, go make salat, you can go tell your mother you're okay, or go continue watching the Dean Show. And we'll see you again, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum, peace be unto you.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Let me tell you something about the concept of this too. When we use this word Allah, what are we talking about? This eliminates any anthropomorphism. That means giving human qualities to the concept of Almighty Allah. And that's why we make a distinction, because a God can have human qualities where Allah can't. Another thing that we have as Muslims, an unwavering faith that Allah is always the same. He doesn't change. He doesn't get tired and I got to rest now. He doesn't change his mind. He doesn't get disgusted with something and just, okay, that's it, forget about it. This is not how it works. Because everything about Allah, He has these qualities of His names or attributes, and they're all the epitome of each one of those. Okay? It is the final word on it. So He's not just merciful. He is the mercy. Okay? And we say He's not just love. Okay? He is the loving.
We're describing Allah now.
That's Allah.
Yes.
So these are qualities of Allah, but when you add it all together, you have to come back to Allah.
So he's the merciful, the most loving.
We can't say it in English. The
It's
most
beyond that.
merciful, or that means is though there might be like good, better, best. It doesn't
Yeah.
work that way. He's the epitome,
He's the epitome.
and
beyond.
that's why Allah is the best word to describe it.
And he's nothing like his creation.
Well, he can't be, because he's the creator of the creation, existing before the creation. Therefore, he doesn't permeate the creation. Creation is not made from him, and he is totally free and independent of anything. And he's mighty, 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 and far beyond all of that.
The only one worthy of worship.
Well, this is what we say.
Yes.
There are no gods worthy of worship, only Allah.
Only Allah.
There are many gods that people have, but they're not right.
Yeah.
The only real God, and that's obviously the only one worthy of any worship, is going to be Almighty Allah.
Okay, so now people can get a better understanding, get a better feel that Allah is not, we're talking about some moon god or some God
please.
Specifically for the Muslims. This is the God of Abraham, the God of Jesus, the God of Moses, and the last and final messenger, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon all the prophets of God.
Let's do this. Let's just back up what we said with some proof. Let's just do that before we do anything else. We have put up a website for this purpose, to break down in detail some of the things you and I just talked about.
Yeah.
So when you go to the website, check it out. The other thing, there's a total rebuttal against this notorious book saying something about Allah the moon god, which is so bogus. And the author himself is bogus. We've tried to contact him to establish a dialogue, and he's just playing games.
Yeah.
So if you hear about a book or hear somebody talking about a moon god and Allah together, you can go to this website, you can check out what we say, and then prove for yourself. The website is called God Allah.
God Allah.
Yeah,
GODALLAH.com.
Yeah, God Allah, and it's a .com.
Yeah, and a
And you
.com.
just go there and check it out. We've got a number of programs on there. Actually, you can listen to some audios, watch some videos there, and we can send you a free Quran. You can go there and pick that up too. But go check it out. It's called GodAllah.com.
Okay, so to recap everything, give us a minute real quick of somebody in short, letting them know you had described some attributes, but just summarize again the word Allah.
The best way to understand this when we talk about Allah is to understand that we're talking about the creator, the sustainer of the universe, who existed before creation, and he has all in total control over everything all the time. He's the only sustainer, and he is the only one to turn to for your salvation. He is God, the only God, or simply said, he is Allah. And this is what he says about himself. هُوَ الَّذِي خَلَقَ السَّمَوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ فِي سِتَّةِ أَيَّامٍ ثُمَّ اسْتَوَى عَلَى الْعَرْشِ. He is God. He is Allah, the one who created the heavens and earth in 6 days, then rose above his throne.
And didn't rest or sleep.
No, it doesn't say that.
Yes.
He just did it, you know.
He just did it, and he's running the universe as we speak.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for being with us again on the
It's a
Dean
pleasure.
Show.
Call me anytime.
And thank you for tuning into the Dean Show. Stay tuned every week where we have a special guest like Yusuf Estes on, and we bring you a new topic. We'll see you. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you.